Borderline personality disorder. I used to try to dress up for videos, but I've just given that up. I've given up a lot of things in life. I've given up my hopes, my dreams. I've given up on love. I've given up on passion. I've given up on self-respect. I've given up on happiness. I've given up on hope. I've given up on sugar. That one's the hardest one. Mainly, I'm giving up on fear. But all my deepest, darkest fears have already come true, so I have nothing left to fear. Maybe that's the secret to fear, is when you have nothing left to lose, you can fear nothing. I know they've always said that a man with nothing to lose, you should be afraid of. Maybe that's because a man with nothing to lose is not afraid of anything. And you can't take anything from me that's gonna be as bad as what's already been taken from me. I've already faced my fears. My life is one of my worst fears, just living it out. I was terrified of living alone. It's something I never wanted to do, ever. And even when I was a horrible human being, not saying that I'm any better now, but actually I am saying that. But I'm not saying I'm great. I may not be a horrible human being, but that doesn't make me a good human being either. But we're getting hung up on things that don't matter. What does matter is, fuck if I know. Oh, living alone. Never wanted to live alone. There's something about being alone with yourself that's terrifying. Especially at night. And it's not like I'm afraid of the dark or monsters or anything, but there's something that is different about nighttime. I think it's probably because the world kind of shuts down a little bit. I mean, yeah, there's still traffic and noise and whatever, but it's just a different vibe, a different feeling at night. Everything seems to be worse at night. Like any types of anxiety you might be feeling or loneliness, for me at least, it comes out at night. More so than during the day. Generally, I will get a sense of dread and foreboding just with the sun going down, and I like nighttime. I don't have any problem with it. It's just emotions are harder to deal with for me at night. And then living alone on top of it, it's just there's no distraction from it. And you're responsible for everything. Everything. Like, there's not one thing that I can like have somebody else do for me. And it's just tiring, and there's no joy in it. I mean, there are things that I do and accomplish that nobody will ever know about because I don't have anybody to share that stuff with. I have no one I feel connected to in the world. I just feel like it's just me, and I'm just my own little island just adrift, and that's terrifying. It's horrifying. It's always been one of my deepest fears, but I get to live it every day. I get to live my worst fear every day, over and over and over again, with no real hope or possibility of getting out of it. And it's all my fault, too. That's another thing that's great about it. Not only am I living out my deepest, darkest fear, but I get to know that I'm responsible for it, that I'm the one that made it all come into existence. I made all the wrong choices at just the right times to create this mess. I'm not saying that I couldn't pull myself out of it, I couldn't go in a different direction, but I'm too fucking old. I'm just too damn old and don't have the energy to. I'm not going to. I'm not going to pick myself up and get out of this situation because I don't have the fight in me. I don't have that fight anymore. I've lost the. I'm not hungry, I guess. I just. Like I said, too damn old. It's different when you're in your 20s. So when you're in. I mean, hell, I'm like almost. I'm like maybe getting senior discount here in a couple of years. It's not really the best time to change my life. No, I figure at this point, now it's time to double down. I made all the right choices at the wrong times to create this situation. Why change now? I've already lost everything I ever cared about. I'm already living my worst nightmare. I'm dealing with it though. Way better than in any point in my life. Right now, mentally, I'm probably the strongest that I've ever been. Now, that's not saying a lot, but it's something. Being average, it makes it impossible to commit. If you're above average, you're going to succeed. And you don't have to try that hard to succeed because all the chips are in your favor. And you can commit to succeeding and being successful. If you're a complete below average individual, there's no way you're going to even bump up to average. Therefore, you can just commit to being a loser, being bottom of the barrel. Being average, yeah, I've made all kinds of loser choices, but I can't fully commit to being a loser. So I have to be successful enough, but I'm not good enough to be really successful, so I'm just stuck. And that sucks, and that's horrifying. That's why I'm alone, and it's like, I'm a loser, but I'm not a big enough loser, and my successes aren't worth it. And that's a nightmare. And I come from a long line of average individuals. As far back as I can trace my family tree, they've all been average. There has not been one above average in the bunch. There's been a couple losers, like bottom of the barrel, but no, nothing above average. I have an average Patreon page. It's not great, but it's not horrible. You can go see how average it is if you'd like. There's a link in the description below. Tell them Mr. BPD sent you. Horrifying terror of being average. Is anybody else out there average and realize it and know the nightmare that you're living and how you're stuck in a situation you can never get out of? Or are there any above average people out there that can tell me how great life is? Leave a comment in the comments section below. Whatever average or above average comments you want to leave. I figure if you're below average, you don't know how to leave a comment, so. Ah, my hand! My hand! See, that was a pretty average, stupid thing to do. Yeah, don't forget, you can leave a tip. You can hit that thanks button also in the description and leave me a tip saying that you liked this video. You could even leave $1. I will accept $1. Alright. You'd be pretty average. Actually, I don't averagely get anything. I averagely don't get $1. So you could make my day above average by giving me $1 by hitting that thanks button. Till next time, keep on keeping on.